very good morning, class 11th. So let's continue the chapter which we started from the book Hornbill. That is the Browning version written by Taras Rettigan. So this chapter, this is a play taken an excerpt basically from his work only, Taras Rettigan only. And here we had Frank and Taplow. Frank, science teacher, Taplow, a student. Taplow waiting for Mr. Crocker Harris, teacher. And there Frank and Taplow, as Taplow was there to complete his work because next day there was a remove result. So discussion about Mr. Crocker Harris was going on. So let's try to understand what happens next. Right? So last we discussed about it that there was a discussion that Mr. Crocker Harris was not like any other teacher who would announce the remove a day before or something in advance. He announced on that particular time period. So here I asked him yesterday outright if he would given me a remove, and do you know what he said, sir? Frank said no. What? The Taplow imitating a very gentle, rather throaty voice. We tried to mimic Crocker Harris. My dear Taplow, I have given you exactly what you deserve, no less and certainly no more. Do you know, sir, I think he may have marked me down rather than up for taking extra work. I mean, the man's hardly human. He breaks off quickly. Sorry, sir, have I gone too far? So basically, he mentioned that how Mr. Crocker Harris mentioned that Taplow, I would give you the exact marks which you deserve, not less, not even more. And when Taplow mimicked this thing to Frank, he even said that he thought that might be he had marked him low because he was doing the extra work. And then in between, Taplow stopped and he asked from Frank teacher that have I went too far? Like, have you discussed much more? Frank said, yes, much too far. Sorry, sir, I got carried away. So Taplow said, sorry, sir, I got carried away. Basically, he mentioned his own thoughts also. Frank evidently picks up a newspaper and opens it. Taplow, yes, sir. What was the Crocker Harris said to you? Just to repeat it, would you? So he said, Frank wanted that Taplow should repeat that statement. So Taplow imitated Crocker Harris again. My dear Taplow, I have given you exactly what you deserve, no less and certainly no more. Frank looking severe. Not in the least like him. Read your nice Ashleys and be quiet. Taplow, it is like Ashleys. So he mimicked again. So Frank again stopped him and said, it's okay. What you need to do is, you need to read your book that which you were reading it at. Frank, look, what time did Mr. Crocker Harris tell you to be here? So he mentioned 6:30 in the evening. Taplow was called. Well, he's 10 minutes late. Why don't you cut? You could still play golf before lockup. So he said, 10 minutes already passed. Why don't you go and play the golf? Taplow, he was shocked. He said, oh no, I couldn't cut. I can't go from here. Cut the crock, Mr. Crocker Harris. I should not think it's ever been done in the whole time he has been here. God knows what would happen if I did. He would probably follow me home or something. We said, no, I can't go anywhere. Let the teacher, Mr. Crocker Harris, come. If he would see me that I am doing something else, I would be in trouble. He would follow me everywhere. So basically, Mr. Crocker Harris was the strict teacher. And Frank, the other science teacher, did not like him at all. You will understand here. Frank, I must admit, I envy him, states written. I envy him. The effect he seems to have you on boys in the form. You all seem scared to death of him. What does he do? Beat you all or something? So we got to know that Frank, my science teacher, feels afraid. Not afraid, feels jealous, envy from Crocker Harris. Because he had a hold on the students, on the boys. Because Mr. Crocker Harris was a strict teacher. Then he says, good Lord, oh no, he's not a sadist. So Taplow mentioned, he is not a sadist. Like one or two of the others. I beg your pardon. Frank asked, what about sadist? So Taplow mentioned, a sadist, sir, is someone who gets pleasure out of giving pain. So sadist means a person who gets pleasure while giving pain to others. So Mr. Crocker Harris is not a sadist according to Taplow. Indeed, but I think he went on to say that some other masters, because Taplow mentioned like one or two of the others. So he said, you are telling about other masters? Taplow, well, of course they are, sir. I won't mention names. Well, you know them as well as I do. So he said, yes, there are few other masters who are like the sadists. Even you know their names. Of course, I know most masters think we boys don't understand a thing. But sir, you are different. You are young, well, comparatively anyway, and you are science. You must know what sadism is. So you say that we students understand few things, and people think that we boys don't understand. And you're a science teacher, you know what sadism is, frankly. Good Lord, what are our schools coming to? So he was very amused, frankly, teacher, that what exactly is happening with today's boys' generation. Anyway, the croc isn't a sadist. That's what I am saying, Nataplo mentioned. He wouldn't be so frightening if he were, because at least it would show he had some feelings. But he hasn't. He is all shriveled up inside like a nut, and he seems to hate people to like him. It's funny that I don't know any other master who doesn't like being polite. So Taplo mentioned that our teacher, Crocker Harris, he's like shriveled up, he's like a nut. He hated when somebody liked him. So basically Mr. Harris don't like when someone liked him. So he said it's very funny. I haven't seen any other master like him actually. Frank, and I don't know anybody who doesn't use that of his own purposes. Well, it's natural, sir, but not with Mr. Crocker Harris. Mr. Crocker Harris, the funny thing is that in spite of everything, I do rather like him. I can't help it, and sometimes I think he sees it and seems to shrivel him up even more. I'm sure you're exaggerating. So Taplo mentioned, I know Mr. Crocker Harris' nature, very strict, tries to behave in a different manner, don't announce the result before, up to the very mark, like the disciplined one, but still I like him at all. I like him actually. And I guess Mr. Crocker Harris knows about it, but still he doesn't react to it. So Frank said, I think you're exaggerating this thing. So till here we are discussing. In the next class we will finish up the chapter. So God bless you and send the work time. Thank you.